Here we go, finally.
Finally.
Hey everyone, all these guys here, welcome back to a brand new reaction video. Today, we've got Propaganda Dax featuring Tommy Doll. This video has been out for so long. I think, what is it, September 17th?
6 weeks.
Like, September 17th. It's been a while. Meant to react to it when it first came out, never got around to it. We know Dax released his new album, and this song's on it, so I've listened to the whole album except for this song. I've purposefully skipped this song so that we could do a reaction. Neither of us have heard it, but I've heard bits and pieces, but that's not my fault. Like, I follow these two on Instagram. Sometimes they post stuff of their own, and so I try to skip it as much as I can, so I haven't really heard anything major. So, it's been a while. We just recorded another video. We're going to do a bunch so we can get a bunch out for you guys. So, y'all ready? You ready?
I'm ready, baby.
It's a good day.
I was
it's a good
born
day.
ready.
It's a good day, right, Dad?
It's always a good day.
It's a good day for some reactions, you know?
It's what day you make it.
It's a good day. It's hump day, Dad. All right, you ready?
Hump!
Please don't. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, boom.
Hey, Daryl. You good, bro? You ain't picking up calls, dog. What's wrong, man? Daryl, you good? Hey. Hey, Daryl. Don't lose yourself.
And all I see is propaganda, propaganda. And all I see is propaganda, propaganda. And all I see is propaganda, propaganda. And all I see is propaganda, propaganda.
Yeah, united we stand, divided we fall. New Year's Eve, they've been dropping the ball. Independent, how we dead in the game. We don't write to the sound of applause. Hidden truth, dotted lines, ain't never signed, stood and remain the boss. In a world that is full of facades, where if you speak, you get nailed to a cross. I won't be silent, I am outspoken. I am the product of pain, so when you see my name, no fame could never break down a brain that is already broken. Every wound is a paid devotion. They fill words as I purge emotion. Scabs hair as I drop hits that bleed loud from demonic omens. The system decides we spend and we buy, while most of our time is spent in bed. The dreams we have all stay inside. We sleep and wake and live with regret. The price of life is half the cost. The price of fame could cost your head. If infamy is what you seek and propaganda is
And all
what
I
you
see
spread.
is propaganda.
What's up?
Nah, man. Just everywhere you go, this is exactly what you see. Like if you go into a restaurant or something, everybody's guys. Look at what you're looking at right now. We're doing a video and bam.
I
phone,
literally was
bam,
moving
phone.
it from here so that I didn't get a
I'm just
notification.
teasing you. I was using it
And I wasn't even looking at it. It's on my home screen.
I was just using it as an example. But what I'm getting at is everywhere you go, we try and we make a conscious effort. If we are having a family meal or we're out to eat for dinner, there's no phones allowed out at the table. Like you can have it sitting beside you in case something crazy happens and somebody needs to get in touch with you or something. That's one thing, but nobody's allowed to get on, play games, get on social medias or anything like that.
I just deleted Instagram the other day.
Again,
I still haven't downloaded it back. Seriously, I'll delete
but
that
it's
stuff.
just this constant. And these companies, they haven't figured out. A lot of this has come in the news lately, but for the last year or so, we watched a show called The Social Dilemma not too long ago.
Oh, yeah.
And these people have had it figured out for a long time about how to trigger your brain. You know, they're accessing chemicals and hormones in your brain. That's why you get addicted to it. It's a real thing. It could be triggering a dopamine release, which is a chemical in your brain that makes you feel really good.
Isn't that proven that it doesn't do that?
Yeah. And so the
Yeah,
more
we
they
talked
trigger
about
that, the more you come back for it because you need that hit. It's almost like a drug. And
It is like a drug.
I mean, it basically is a drug. And they figured this thing out, and their algorithms are constantly evaluating everything you pull up, whether it's on the website itself or just on Amazon or Google, and then so they feed advertisements into you that are about things you want, and news cycles that into you that they know are going to appeal to you, which raises their bottom line. So, And it's what cost does that come at?
Trying to check really quick.
If you're not already taking some social media breaks every so often, you need to. And
Do you
just
do that
unplug.
sometimes?
I mean, it's if you use it the way that it was that I think it should be used, which that may sound kind of arrogant, the way I think it should be used.
Well, I mean,
you can stay in touch with family, friends, share pictures, that kind of stuff, but it can be used. Yeah, it can be very addictive, and it can just take over your world. Look no further than the last presidential election, and right or wrong, it's not healthy. It's not healthy to be that engrossed in it. But because you are being fed, you're being fed propaganda. If it's not 100% true, then it's just propaganda, and it doesn't matter if it's Fox News saying it or CNN saying it. It's all propaganda. It's all triggering whatever you want to trigger, and making you watch their program, making you watch and buy their products. Put ads on their news stories. That's making them money. They don't give a rat's ass about what it does to you personally. They just want you for that money.
Yeah.
And it's never been so much more blatant than it currently is. It's probably always been this way for a long time, but the last couple of years, it's just really gotten pretty blatant. Like, I'll have a conversation with somebody about some kind of divisive issue, and they will just regurgitate talking points. And I'm just like, man, they got you, dude. I mean, they got you right where they want you, because that's all they can say is a talking point, and not anything that actually backs up or would contradict anything I'm saying. So it's just like, and I'm always trying. And on the flip side, I'm always trying to not fall into that trap, and it's hard because I've probably done that same thing. And so it's difficult.
You take breaks from the social media?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
People probably don't think that affects them that much, but mental health is just as important as physical health. And I can promise you that social media can bring your mood down, and like it's not worth arguing with people online. Like, seriously, because you're only one person in a 7.6 billion people. Like, it's just not worth it. Like, you're fighting with one person trying to change their mind. It's just, it'll never happen. So just take breaks from it. That's what I do.
But it doesn't even have to be that serious. Even it's just you going online and looking at and you're seeing other families in the way they're living, and it starts to make you feel depressed because you don't get out as much as they do, or their kids are so much better than your kids, which I think that all the time.
Funny dad jokes,
but
jokes,
seriously though, memes. Like my wife struggles with this, and because she likes to go out and do things, and so sometimes if we haven't gone out and done anything in a little while, she'll start seeing these pictures and these posts, and it's like, oh. And I'm like, honey, we do stuff, all right? Don't, just because they went out last night doesn't mean we don't ever go out, or something like that, And anybody can fall into that, and it starts to make you feel bad about the way you're living because you're not as active as these people are. And it's like the old phrase, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but keeping up with the Joneses. That's an old phrase where you're just trying to keep up. You're buying everything new and name brand, and you've got to, if they went to hiking, then you need to go hiking, and it's just this never-ending cycle. But anyway, roll it back.
Oh yeah, there you go. Good job.
Speaking propaganda, all I see is propaganda.
News you can trust. If you ever see that, I know that's put out there for just blatant.
No, but I've seen that before. I swear I've seen a news station.
They'll say it. A lot of times they'll say it more than it'll be printed on the screen like that. Say, Channel 4 News you can trust.
Yeah, I've heard that before. I don't remember on what.
That's like when somebody says, honestly, don't ever believe the next words coming out of their mouth.
Well, that's because it's honest in their head. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Propaganda, and all I see is propaganda. Propaganda, and all I see is propaganda. Propaganda, and all I see is propaganda. Propaganda. Liquidated, indoctrinated. They convince us all that everything we say is racist, and blood will change it. That's what happens. Y'all need balance. Y'all need blacks and whites and lefts and rights to stop the madness. They planned it. If
it's Trump or Biden, we all been divided right in the streets. Elections always been rigged. I ain't surprised when somebody cheats. All I see is pentagrams and the propaganda, but our priority's a vaccine. It ain't hard for wolves to find a flock when the sheep are fast asleep. Too many people lack character. Too many journalists scaring you. Too many pencils attempting to rewrite the Constitution. They probably gonna tear it up. I love the country, but I don't trust the people taking care of us. We went to bed with the American dream. We woke up in Nightmerica.
And all I see is propaganda.
That's pretty good, pretty strong lyric. Went to bed with the American dream, woke up in Nightmerica. And he's right, man. It's just...
Is your brain hurting?
Yeah,
okay?
your brain just, he bombed me. He just...
I don't think you processed
It's just...
I
I don't trust. He's got a point, and I've said this before to you, more or less, in different words. Where I just don't trust the people that are in charge. I don't trust any of them. I didn't trust Trump. I don't trust Biden. It's just there's so much. If their lives became fish bowls, and we could see inside all their lives and all the dirt and all the corruption that is in our government,
I didn't know where you were going with that.
then. I mean, I don't think we'd be amazed. Well, we might still be amazed at how just nasty and dirty it is in there, because we know it's dirty, but it's probably 1,000 times dirtier than what we even think it is. I mean, the backdoor deals, the money, the kickbacks, the lobbyists, the other countries. So, I mean, I'm going to tell you this. The people that founded our Constitution in this country back in 1776 would have already overthrown the government we currently have. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. I'm not saying that that's the course of action you take. All right. I'm just saying that shit happened over 5% tax. All right. So imagine what will be going on right now. We've allowed that government to get so big and so huge. The states don't even matter anymore. They're constantly overreaching. And it was not designed to be as big and powerful as it is. I mean, there's billions of dollars, millionaires all throughout our Congress. That is not supposed to be that kind of job. And I don't know how we set it straight. I just don't. It's morphed into this monster. It's just a monster. I don't think that we can fix it. At least not completely. But I mean, you can be pulling for whoever in whatever election, but ultimately they're all part of the same. Two wings of the same bird, left wing, right wing, but they're on the same bird. Same dirt, same corruption. Just they like to say the things that their voting base likes to hear. And that's how they get their money, that's how they get their power. So, all right, wing back.
Ready?
Yep. I got it.
America.
And all I see is propaganda. Propaganda.
And all I see is propaganda.
And all I see is propaganda.
Propaganda. And all I see is propaganda. Propaganda.
So what you think?
I really like Dax. It's harder for me in my old ears to keep up with him. I don't hear him as clearly as I hear Tom. But I really like the sound and harmonies of his voice and his music together. It's easy to listen to. But just touching on those things, I mean, that is all that's everywhere. It's just propaganda. You gotta find. You really
got him there, Dad.
I know. You got to kind of work your way through it, because they use parts of the truth to get that out there, you know. So it's just because. Let me tell you this: if any part of a truth is a lie, then it's all a lie. And I mean, that's something you should. At least I hope that he would live by a little bit. That, you know, a partial truth is not a truth at all. An omitted truth or an omitted lie, you know, is still a lie.
Yeah.
If anything makes a scenario false, then it's all false.
So
And people do this all the time. You take into whether it's police shootings and things like that. That's probably one of the most evident ones. Is a narrative will come out on a police shooting, and within a couple minutes, a few hours of floating around social media, everybody's got these police officers or whoever it is condemned to hell, and they don't even know basic facts about the case. All they saw was a 12-second edited clip that makes anybody look bad. And then the propaganda, the media machine runs it out. And I mean, let's take the Nick Sandman, the teenagers from Covington High School that went to that were in Washington D.C., which he just went to fairly recently. And they was approached by a Native American activist, and
it's this one.
Yeah, when that all broke, everybody wanted to basically punch this high schooler, and that kid's the same age as my son, and all he was doing was standing there in the same place, but he had committed the cardinal sin of wearing a Trump hat, and that's just dumb as shit. Now, we don't buy any presidential propaganda.
How many times are you going to use the word propaganda?
Well, because that's what that is too. But I don't do that. I've never done that. I never will do that. I just don't. I don't worship these people like that. I don't worship Trump. I don't worship Biden. That's just dumb. My faith is not in them. I mean, I won't say it's dumb. If you want to do that, then by all means go do that. But that's just not for me. And I'm not going to. I don't donate money to these people or anything like that. But the point is, the media ran with this false story, and this kid was getting death threats all over the place. And when everything came out within a few days, which usually it's going to take a few days, sometimes on a police matter, it's going to be a few weeks probably. Then everybody was like, but even then they couldn't really admit they were wrong. Like they couldn't even get on there. They couldn't give the same publicity to how wrong they were when they were pushing what a piece of shit this kid was supposed to be. And sure enough, man, he's filed all these lawsuits and he's going to win every single one of them. He can never have to work another day in his life. But, and good for him. He deserves it. It's one of the few times that, because the media, they're irresponsible. When you don't verify your sources and you don't verify the story and you just run with it, then you are liable. And it's just, it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. Everybody talks about misinformation being dangerous, which it is. It is dangerous. All those things are dangerous because you don't know how people are going to respond to these things. You got a 17, 18-year-old kid getting death threats because people thought that he had started that stuff, and he was just standing there. That guy walked all the way to him. In fact, if anything, he was the victim in that whole scenario.
Yeah.
And just, it burns me up. And I just don't understand how people, and then they still will not admit to it even after it gets found out. You can't convince some of these people that hey, you know what, we fucked up. Yeah, I mean, we ran with it, we got emotional, and we're sorry. And that's what it is. It sparked an emotion in them, so they just kept running with it. And instead of apologizing for it and correcting it, they just double down on it. That's what really baffles me. Is you'll call them out on something, and then they'll say something else that's even more outlandish. But anyway, so be careful of the propaganda that's out there, because I promise you're getting fed propaganda too. No matter what side you're on, they're going to gaslight you. It's funny because the whole, with the "Let's Go Brandon" chant has been going on around the country. The "Let's Go Brandon" chant.
I never heard that. But anyway.
All right, well, you don't know the "Let's Go Brandon"? You ain't even heard about it? All right, quick version. Everybody, F Joe Biden. They'll say that, right? And, they were chanting these at football games and stuff like this, sporting events. Well, a guy named Brandon won a race. I don't know Brandon. I don't follow NASCAR or any of those racing things. And his name was Brandon. Well, at the event, they were yelling FJB, but the media person that was interviewing him after the race he won said, "Yeah, they're chanting 'Let's Go Brandon," but they clearly were not chanting "Let's Go Brandon." All right, they were clearly chanting the other thing. So that's why the "Let's Go Brandon" chant got started. Okay. Well, anyway, that's just to let you know where that came from. I'm glad, because you don't need to use that chant. I don't use it personally, but I do find it funny though. But that's an example of a gaslight, where you clearly hear what they're saying, but the media person is saying, "Oh, they're saying this," which is not just the same thing. Don't believe your ears. Believe what I'm telling you. Don't believe what you see. Believe what I'm telling you. That's what gaslighting is. It makes you seem like the crazy one, but because they're trying to make you not believe what you're physically seeing and physically hearing. And so that's how that's taken off, and there's been a lot of hubbub. Well, why don't they just say FJB instead of instead of Let's Go Brandon. And I'm like, because you're missing the point. The reason why Let's Go Brandon took over is because of the obvious gaslight of that reporter. And so that's why they're using that chant instead. So I find it funny. But if you ever want an example of a gaslight, that's a gaslight. Anytime you physically see something, but they're telling you that's not what you see, then that's a gaslight. And
yeah. So
always watch out for that crap. Just believe what you see. Believe what you hear, like with your own ears. Not with not through the grapevine. Talking about like physically. Anyway, we're running on 20 minutes, so we'll cut it short.
Good video though, good song.
Yeah, good song, and I take over the conversation. So I really need to learn to let my son talk a little more. I'm sorry.
That's fine. That's all right. You got a lot to say. Yeah. Facebook just isn't enough. You can't say enough on Facebook.
I don't say much on Facebook.
I know. I'm just kidding. It's just a boomer joke.
I'm not a boomer.
What are you?
Generation
I'm a
X.
Generation X.
Oh, slap.
Alright, I'm just messing with you. Alright, so hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please like, subscribe. Let us know what you thought of the song. Let us know what you want to react to next. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. Peace.